Hello everyone, my name is Mario and I'm here to present you Combis Project Management Office. First of all, I would like to apologize if for any reason I will not be completely fluently, because I usually like to do presentation in front of the live audience. And this is like doing a movie, not a sitcom. So, let's start. Agenda for this presentation is somehow preset by the rules of the Pmo awards. So, at the beginning you will see the Combis and our Pmo overview. You will see the history of our Pmo, how it is being developed. You will see the structure, objective, results, and of course, next steps. So, let's go to see what Combis is and how Combis Pmo fits into it. Combis is a regional ICT company focused on development of application, communication, security, and system solution and provisioning services. We consult, develop, implement, integrate, and maintain comprehensive information application communication solutions. We already had almost over 1,000 projects in Croatia and internationally, and we proved our experience. Our current focus, as you can see on this infographic, is big data, cloud, Internet of Things, and security. We employ more than 300, almost 400 top experts in ICT expertise, and we operate our projects in Croatia and, as I said, in the world, which is mainly Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Montenegro, Egypt, Greece, Romania, Hungary, Macedonia, Serbia, Ukraine. So we are mainly focused on Eastern and Central European countries. We received numerous awards so far, and one of the latest awards is that we are awarded Microsoft Partner of the Year Award for 2017. Also, last year we won Eurocloud Europe Award for the best cloud service in vertical markets, and we did Croatian Award for the same service. We also run our annual Combis conference, which is going to be held in 2 weeks. I'm, by the way, head of Pmo is conference program director, and we won award for the best conference in 2016. Our Pmo is there to support all of our projects. We have set up our vision that we want to be high-performing, trustworthy, result-oriented center of excellence for project management. We tried to incorporate in this vision our complete function, that we want people to believe us, that we are oriented over results, and that we are the one that are going to be asked for every aspect of project management in our company. We divided our roles into 4 different groups. We are project managers that manage projects. So primarily, as you will see later in this presentation, we are focused mainly on delivery of the projects. But besides delivery of the project, because we cannot deliver the whole portfolio of Combis projects, we are also focused on quality assurance for all of our projects. We also act as center of excellence for project management expertise within the company, and we manage project management methodology, whatever you want to by that meaning. How it all began? We started our project management path somewhere in 2005, when the first project manager has been hired. And for the first 5 years, the project management office, what was at that time called probably project management, was part of the application development sector. So we were sectorial departmental Pmo. In that time, we also hired second project management manager, and we basically formed the Pmo with the head of Pmo position. In 2010, we are organizationally placed under direct supervision of board, and we hired some more employees within that period. It all lasted until 2016, when we were placed under business development sector, where we stayed for the last 2 years. from 2018 onwards, we are back to being responsible directly to Chief Operating Officer. Nevertheless, the last 8-9 years from 2010, we've been acting as enterprise PMO. So managing all large, complex projects for Combis as an enterprise, no matter where we were organizationally set up. During that period, our activity was focused primarily on project delivery. So we organized ourselves as project managers and we tried to run those projects. Besides that, we tried to some kind of evangelize project management by sharing that knowledge and managing project management methodology. So we created that project management methodology and we continuously improved it throughout the years. When we set up enterprise PMO, we basically started to being responsible for portfolio management. On top of that, during our organizational setup that we haven't been directly responsible to the board, we also had activities regarding on organizational positioning and trying to find the best fit, how our organization wants, what kind of support does organization want from project management office and from project management in general. When we are responsible directly to board, to chief operating officers, then we are somehow responsible for forming that project management expectation directly at the top, and we may position project management a little bit more easier than from the bottom-up perspective. What we were trying to use by all that time is that PMO must align with the interest of the internal stakeholders. And our main idea was always to refocus when needed with the stakeholders' idea of the value of project management. Because you must align to bring values for internal stakeholders to see the value in project management. No matter whether it was a CEO, sectoral directors, shareholders, owners, we wanted to approach to those decision makers, to our internal and external stakeholders, and ask them, what do you want from project management and how do you perceive it? So in 2014, we had a little bit of a larger repositioning of our department, and we started with the SWOT analysis. So we identified several strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. What we said as a strength is that we were organizationally positioned very well. We were peered to our key stakeholders, to our key internal customers. We had knowledge, we had certification, we had reporting system in place, we had experience in managing different and difficult projects, and we had project management methodology. The weakness of that was that we needed maybe to invest a little bit more in our soft skills. We had some track record of unsuccessful projects in the past as an organization, not as a PMO or project management. We haven't been able to fulfill the whole demand for project management because there was growing, and there is still growing demand for our services internally. We had project management methodology, but with the change of the type of the project, with the introduction of the agile approaches, agile methodology, our methodology became a little bit of obsolete, and we needed to continuously improve it in order to reflect the need of the projects. Project managers were assigned to projects primarily on sectoral demand and on sales request. We also identified that pre-sales effort, so setting on the front end of the project of the expectations of every stakeholder, especially customers, was quite crucial. And we were involved on that customer expectation setup on a best effort basis. There was no structured process how that we add value to that process. And basically we were in some kind of reactive position. We saw opportunities in projects that were troubled throughout the organization. We wanted to use a little bit more of advanced reporting techniques. Our opportunities were big projects that we wanted to show our value, how we can bring those projects to successful finish. We also wanted to see our value in other projects that were not managed by PMO, because we wanted to take over that project and to successfully finish them as well. We wanted to create career development path for project managers, prioritize projects, and evaluate team members. What we saw as a threat was perception of the project management within the company that was on a quite low. Projects out of the project management control, unflexible succession planning. When team members leave company, there was always a troubled project, so a little bit more on resource management. We saw our threats that maybe if there will be some lost tenders in the future that we wanted to participate, that we wanted our project managers to manage them. And we saw only partially projects that were in the system, so our reporting was not complete because some projects were managed by sectors and not necessarily entered into our reporting system. What we did as an addition is maturity assessment that we did with project auditors company, and we scored, let's say, a level 1 on maturity assessment. It was almost 2, but we agreed to truncate on the level 1 to make a better impression when we wanted to achieve higher maturity level. We targeted maturity level 3 as a sweet spot for many IT organizations. So we are not consulting organization, we are not large organization, we are small and medium enterprise almost organization, and we wanted our maturity level in project management to be set up on 3. We also did, I personally did some research on Croatian ICT companies and their maturity level, where median was set up on level 2. So we know what our next steps should be. On the other hand, we had our SWOT analysis. On the other hand, we had external maturity assessment and how we are approaching that. In addition, what is not shown here on slides, we discussed with our key customers their expectation and their perception of project management services. We analyzed some trends, we analyzed the best practices for IT companies, and we produced a single result. The result was our focus in the next level. Our activities, what we wanted PMO to achieve in the next period of 2 to 3 years, and we divided that into 4 phases. In phase 1, we wanted to focus on more accurate reporting. We wanted to focus also on analysis of the project from the finished or on the ongoing projects. In the phase 2, we wanted to introduce 360 feedback for project management. We perceived that as a great tool to improve project management soft skills and to use that for project management personal development. Also, in that phase, we wanted to be included in the pre-sales involvement, so to prove our value in the front of the project, and we wanted to work on the quality assurance of all the other projects. In the phase 3, we said we will use earned value management, because for our kind of projects, where we track every hour used on the project, we are focused on services provided on the project for all team members, earned value management can prove its value to show a little bit more of an early warning signals. We wanted to categorize projects, to define how those projects are used within the company, so to make rules when to apply, for instance, project management methodology, full-blown methodology, or when it is enough to use 1 or 3 parts of that methodology. We wanted to define key success criteria for each and specific projects. What we did in this key success criteria is that we divided it into 2 parts. One was according to our customer, so external key success criteria to know what customer expects. The other part was internal KPIs. And those internal KPIs sometimes could differ from customers' key success criteria. And it was good to know when they differ and what are they, so that we could make better decisions and sometimes to make some trade-offs in that respect. We also wanted to implement a new, improved, shifted project management methodology, and we wanted to set up project sponsorship and governance framework for the whole company. In the last phase, and we pushed in the last phase a little bit more of the soft skills and a little bit more on the long goal. And we said we want to develop project managers not only in soft skills, as we said before, but also on technical skills, on the technical side of the project, because we are quite connected with the project team. So we wanted them to learn, to be able to learn a little bit more deeper on the topic of the project. We wanted to create it, and we created a project management pool, which is basically a pool of project managers of the employees, not titled project managers, not part of PMOs, but scattered around the company that are educated, that have the competencies to manage smaller projects. And that could be used to build stronger project management competence for the whole company. We wanted to create best practices repository out of the lessons learned workshops. We also had the idea to establish frame contracts with external project managers to be able to support maybe some need for outer resources, and we wanted to offer project management consulting services to our customers, not only that we run internal projects, but that we run projects for our external customers. How we realigned in 2016? We set up out of all those phases. So we implemented some of the phases, and we wanted to go a little bit more further with our goals. We set up ground rules. We said that all project managers, we should follow those ground rules. And those ground rules define responsibility for all Combis projects. We defined the roles, we defined the governance structure, we defined the activities within those responsibilities. So basically responsibility matrix, RACI matrix, and we use that for project management development. We also established quality assurance. Those were all ongoing activities. Project management quality assurance was focused on audit of the projects at major milestones, at kickoff, at delivery, at close downs. We wanted to audit troubled projects, and we wanted to organize lesson learned workshops and best practices repository. We also did project categorization. We categorized them on complexity, and we provided recommendation for managing projects. All of that you would see later on in the presentation on our results slide. We planned for that 2016 to employ earned value management, that we want to track projects against baseline and focus on forward-looking information, and we wanted to start portfolio management basics on a little bit more proper way, and that we can track pre-sales pipeline, as I explained before, to organize on a pre-sales involvement. What's next? Current mandate, Pmo structure, Pmo objectives in current goals. Where are we? Where do we see ourselves in 2 years? We will explain later in the presentation. So the next part of the presentation, as it is pre-set up on the agenda, is Pmo structure. And to be honest, the main part of the Pmo structure is that right people are needed to accomplish changes. So value of the right team is crucial for this structure. How we are structured at the moment? At the moment, as you can see it on the left side of this slide, is that we have one head of project management office and 5 project managers. And we are focused mainly on managing projects, and head of project management office is focused on team management, portfolio management, and also manage of some complex projects. What we want to achieve in the future is a little bit more mix of the roles within this project management office. We would still hold the position of head of project management office, but we also want to use the role of a program manager and of a project coordinator within the team. One of the part of the activities that we set up in our development of PMO is that we provided track of development for project managers. So historically, only role of project manager has been known to our company. At the moment, we have developed 5 different roles of project management. It is project coordinator, project manager, program manager, so a little bit more from a junior to senior level, and we also have senior project manager and project director for specific projects which those roles are defined. Related to our organizational setup, we are peer to our sectors. We all, so sectors, delivery sectors, our internal customers, are responsible directly to management board, to chief operating officer. So are we. So we are basically peered to those delivery functions. In that way, that enables us a little bit more on the governance side, that we are brought on the same table with our key stakeholders that are basically responsible for resource management and which are basically responsible for pre-sales and every other aspect of the project besides project management. So we together can decide, make decisions, make prioritization, and all those governance functions. Maybe to understand a little bit more, which I touched a little bit slightly before, is our project management process. So we start with the pre-sales activities, with the offer and bid management. We go into contracting, project planning, project execution, closing, and support and maintenance. And our main activities are from project planning to project closing. What we wanted to achieve with everything, so to widen a little bit of our involvement and our responsibilities into contracting and those pre-sales activities to make a better influence to front end of the projects. Within the responsibility matrix, which is, as I said, this is important to understand our organizational position of project management, we set up roles that are used into project management. So we have project manager, which is usually us. We have a team lead, which is usually someone from the delivery sector. Project steering, our decision-making body, senior and sector directors, management board, that is used for the steering of the portfolio. Team member, sales, bid manager, and SLA manager, they're all in some role of the support. Our decision-making is focused, as you can see in this slide, in the top tier on project steering. So we decided to abandon project steering per project, and we defined project steering that basically is some kind of portfolio management body that defines decisions on the portfolio level. We, as a PMO, act as a support for this portfolio management by providing them risk managed decision making, that we provide key risks, we assess key risks and report them, those risks that are needed to be resolved in order to make progress on the projects. We also, of course, prepare usual reports, we have usual meetings, whatever, but we use our project steering primarily for decision making and for prioritization purposes. Our objectives. We see within the Combis, we see project management, organizational project management, as divided into 4 pillars, 4 areas: project management, portfolio management, excellence center, and project planning. We see that project management focus should be on the project delivery and according to agreed plan and KPIs and customer satisfaction. Portfolio management is, of course, focused on prioritization, risk management, benefits management. KPIs here are return on investment, EBITDA, and of course, again, customer satisfaction. Excellence Center is focused primarily on competency management, on development of project management competency within the company. We measure that by increased delivery capacity, the development of the team members, recognition at the market, and again, customer satisfaction. You can see that our customer satisfaction is one of the key KPIs we want to achieve. And of course, project planning, you see also that our project planning, this pre-sales involvement is quite important to us. That is focused on project preparation, support of the projects, and our KPIs is also primarily on return on investment and on EBITDA. Our objectives for the next period is that we obtain and maintain strategic view on projects, that we have portfolio management, which is focused on services, that we focus on decision making within the project steering, as I explained before, and that we focus on prioritization and transparent communication within the company. We think this is the key of the successful project delivery, which is the essence of our Pmo, which leads us to the second goal, project delivery according to expectations. In addition to number 1, we need to focus on preparation of realistic project plan and estimation, including offering. We need to focus on resource management, especially in the situations when there are overlapping resources and there is a lack of resource, and that we need to make priorities and decisions on those resources. So we need to be effective and efficient in this resource management, as I also explained before, management by risk management, before and during projects. I will explain to you a little bit more of the PMO results part. The third goal is to improve organizational project management, to use agreed roles and responsibilities matrix, as I explained before, to form officially. So currently we have an unofficial project management tool. We want to make it official to focus basically some kind of community of practice of project managers. And we want to have assigned project managers for subcontracting projects. There are a number of projects that are subcontracted to some other party, and we want to have project managers manage those projects. Fourth goal is to learn for the future, to continuously improve project management methodology, to use lessons learned workshops to build best practices repository, and to continue project management education, being it internally, so knowledge sharing, and from PMO to other interested parties within the company, which we did at the moment, but also to specialized external, like stakeholder management, Scrum, or some technical topics that would build competency of our project managers to manage large variety of our topics. And of course, our fifth goal is to continue to have some kind of market outlook in 2 ways. First, to position Combis through expert association and certification, so to gain recognition, to gain visibility through this collaboration, and to offer our competencies on the market, and to have connection with external project management expertise on as needed basis. So that being said, let's come to a little bit more on our results and what are we most proud of at the moment. First thing I wanted to share with you is that we are proud with our 360 feedback introduction. So 360 feedback is not a new tool for project management, competency assessment and development. But what is new in this respect is that we built 360 feedback completely for project management based on internationally recognized standards from PMI, like Competency Development Framework, like IPMA and their IPMA competence baseline. Or we used GAPPS as an independent, some kind of standard based on competency to build what competencies are needed. We placed those competencies in what is expectation from our project managers and built questions on that. In that respect, we divided into technical competencies, meaning project management competencies, and general competencies, meaning soft skill competencies, and some kind of Combis values that we as a company believe are the values, key values of our employees. And we assessed project managers on all those areas. What we used that feedback is to build personalized development plans for our project managers and where they need to develop their strengths further. The second part we are proud of is to create project categorization system and to define whether from project management perspective, decision-making perspective, what kind of business plan is needed, project plan, how those projects are reported, what kind of methodology is used, and how we make prioritization on the risks. And you can also see on this slide our division of the projects, and you can see that PMO managed primarily strategic projects and large projects throughout the years. Further, we are also proud of our risk management. And risk management is based on project complexity, and we visualize that risk management before project, and we plan our decision making on the risk management during the project. And before the project, it is used to assess how well is the project prepared, what is the risk of entering that project. In general, so last year in retrospect, is we finished project, and I bolded it. So this is our prime function, and we are most proud that we successfully finished our project that we had in hand. And we operate on some kind of Pareto principle, almost ideal Pareto principle. That being said, that we deliver some 20% of the number of the projects employed within the company, which brings about 80% of the value in services. We had 22 ongoing projects by the end of the last year. We did 2 of internal product development projects, which are still ongoing, and we refocused ourselves from being external centric to internal centric on the product development projects. We won a yearly award from PMI Croatia for project management. We did some mentoring and project support for non-PMO project managers. We organized lessons learned workshops. We migrated to the new reporting and management system Project Server 2016, and we obtained a number of certifications last year, so we widened our certification base. At the end of last year, and this slide is used for our internal planning purposes, that we plan to finish ongoing projects, take over new projects. So 2 prime functions. We plan to monitor and control non-PMO projects. Further on, we wanted to extend our project management education within the PMO and non-PMO, and we wanted to continuously upgrade the basis for transparent prioritization. So continuously improve inputs and outputs from our reporting system. We wanted to further continue active participation in offering phase of the projects, even widen and deepen our certifications, and present successful projects on our internal conference. Being responsible for content, that should not be that of a problem if you listen carefully. By our Project Server 2016 upgrade, we obtained new status report, new portfolio dashboards, and more efficient status reporting and tracking. That offered us a little bit more of transparent portfolio overview, new dashboards, and new report page for the project. Our success, especially last year or the year before, can be shown on these photos. So on the upper right corner, you can see that we won award for the project management for one customer project, and our project management won it for successful combining agile and traditional project management methodology on that project, which was recognized by PMI Croatia, and award was presented there. We continued our involvement into other project management organizations. So below you can see a bunch of students that came to our company to learn about best practices that we are doing in project management. And that was IPMA Young Crew Croatia. We also were present at the Project Management Award, where we were part of judging committee for that award and presented the award at the gala event last winter. We shared our best practices on the Pmo Symposium in 2016 in San Diego, so global Pmo event, and also shared at the Portfolio Experience Conference in Warsaw in Poland in 2016. And both presentations, even more presentations, were received quite well. Our next steps are explained previously on the presentation, our goals, our objectives for the next period. What I wanted to share with you here at this point is what are our thoughts, what are our ideas that we bring our PMO further. We are quite aware that the average life cycle of the PMO is 3 to 5 years. So we are aware that we need to focus on change, that we always need to keep in mind that we must fit into organizational context, and that we need to change when organizational goals change in order to provide the maximum value which project management can bring to the organization. We must have organizational fit and perfectly fit into that. We are also aware that one size does not fit all, that one approach that might work on one project might not work on the other. So we need to re-innovate ourselves from time to time. We need to have the clear setup of roles and responsibilities in the whole process, and we are aware that PMO can have multiple purposes or functions, and that we need to keep open-minded for the future. The main goal is to how we are providing or increasing business value for the company. And you could see on the previous slides our idea on how we are going to do that in the next period. That being said, I would like to thank you for your attention and thank you for listening to this presentation from the beginning to the end. Hope you learned something new, hope it was something interesting, and hope you will find something you would like into it. Thank you and have a good rest of the day.